This video about the hidden skill shocked the Millionaire CEO. Before watching, like and subscribe. Your likes and comments encourage us. Now, enjoy the story. The crystal chandeliers cast dancing shadows across the polished marble floors of the Sterling Grand, the most exclusive restaurant in Manhattan. It was the kind of place where reservations were made 3 months in advance, where a single meal could cost more than most people's monthly rent, and where millionaires came to see and be seen. Marcus Wellington III sat at his usual corner table, his $5,000 suit pressed to perfection, his Rolex catching the light with every gesture. At 42, he had built a tech empire worth $3 billion. He had everything money could buy: penthouses, sports cars, private jets. But lately, something felt hollow. Every business deal felt the same. Every conversation felt transactional. Every smile around him seemed fake, rehearsed, designed to get something from him. "Your usual, Mr. Wellington." The voice was soft but confident. Marcus looked up to see a young woman in the restaurant's standard black and white uniform. Her name tag read Alina. He'd never paid much attention to the staff before. They were just part of the furniture, really, but something about her caught his eye. Maybe it was the way she stood with quiet dignity despite carrying a heavy tray, or the genuine warmth in her smile that didn't seem to want anything from him. "Yes, the usual," he replied curtly, returning to his phone where another $1 million deal demanded his attention. Alina returned 15 minutes later with his meal: pan-seared salmon with truffle risotto arranged like a work of art. As she set it down, Marcus noticed something unusual. On the side of his plate, carved into a small piece of carrot with incredible precision, was a tiny orange rose. It was so delicate, so perfect, it looked almost unreal. Did you make this?" Marcus asked, his business call forgotten. Alina blushed slightly. "Oh, I'm sorry if that's too forward, Mr. Wellington. I know you always look so stressed when you come in. I thought something beautiful might brighten your day, even just a little." Marcus stared at the miniature masterpiece. "How long did this take you?" "About 2 minutes," she said humbly. "It's just something I learned to do. My grandmother taught me when I was little. She said that adding beauty to small things makes life worth living." For the first time in years, Marcus was genuinely curious about another person. Just 2 minutes. That's remarkable. What else can you do? Elena's eyes lit up, but she quickly composed herself. "I shouldn't take up your time, sir. Please enjoy your meal." But Marcus wouldn't let it go. Over the next few weeks, he found himself returning to the Sterling Grand more frequently, always requesting Elena's section. Each time, she would create something extraordinary: a swan from a napkin that actually looked like it could fly, a butterfly carved from a radish, a dragon sculpted from a watermelon rind during a special event. Other diners began to notice. They would request her tables just to see what she would create. The restaurant's manager, a stern man named Bernard, noticed too, but not in a good way. One evening, Marcus arrived to find Elena serving with red-rimmed eyes. When she brought his drink, her hands trembled slightly. "Elena, what's wrong?" The question surprised them both. Marcus Wellington didn't usually ask personal questions. She tried to smile. "It's nothing, Mr. Wellington. I'm fine." But she wasn't fine. Later that night, as Marcus was leaving, he overheard Bernard berating Elena in the hallway. "Your little art projects slow down service? This is a serious establishment, not a craft fair. One more complaint about delayed service, and you're fired." Elena stood there, taking the abuse with quiet dignity, her eyes fixed on the floor. "Yes, sir. I understand." "I'm sorry." Something inside Marcus cracked open. He remembered being young, remembered working his way up, remembered how many people had stepped on him on his way to the top. He'd promised himself he'd never become like them, yet somewhere along the way, he had. He'd stopped seeing people, stopped caring about anything except profit margins and stock prices. The next morning, Marcus did something unprecedented. He canceled all his meetings and went to find Alina. He discovered she lived in a small studio apartment in Queens, working double shifts to support herself while caring for her sick grandmother. The same grandmother who had taught her to find beauty in small things. "Alina," he said, when she answered the door, shocked to see him. "I have a proposition for you." She looked terrified. "Mr. Wellington, if this is about what Mr. Bernard said, I promise I won't. I want to invest in you," Marcus interrupted. "Your talent is extraordinary. But more than that, you have something I lost years ago, the ability to bring joy to others, to see beauty in the ordinary, to care about making someone's day better, even when your own is falling apart. That's not just a skill. That's a gift." Alina stared at him in disbelief. I don't understand." Marcus smiled, a real smile, not the calculated business smile he usually wore. "I want to help you open your own business. A culinary art studio, teaching others what you do. Food, sculpture, presentation arts, whatever you want to call it. I'll provide the capital, the connections, the space. You provide the vision and the heart." Tears streamed down Alina's face. "Why would you do this for me? You barely know me." "Because you reminded me of something I forgot," Marcus said quietly. "Success means nothing if you lose your humanity along the way. You work harder than anyone I know, yet you still take time to carve a rose for a stranger who probably doesn't deserve it. That's not just skill, Alina. That's character. And character is the rarest commodity in my world." 6 months later, Alina's artistry opened in a beautiful Manhattan location. It wasn't just a culinary school. It was a movement. Alina taught underprivileged youth, single mothers, and anyone who had a dream, but not the means. She taught them that beauty could be found anywhere. That talent could emerge from the most unexpected places, and that kindness was never wasted. Marcus became more than an investor. He became a regular volunteer, teaching business skills to Alina's students. The hollow feeling that had plagued him for years began to fill with something he'd forgotten existed: purpose. The Sterling Grand tried to hire Alina back at triple her salary, but she politely declined. Bernard, the manager who had berated her, was fired when the restaurant's owner learned he'd nearly driven away such extraordinary talent. On the 1-year anniversary of Alina's artistry, Marcus stood before a crowd of reporters and students, giving a speech. "A year ago, I thought I had everything, but a waitress with a hidden skill taught me I had nothing that mattered. She showed me that real wealth isn't measured in bank accounts. It's measured in the lives you touch, the beauty you create, and the kindness you show when no one is watching." Alina stood beside him, no longer in a waitress uniform, but in a chef's coat embroidered with her name. Her grandmother, now healthier thanks to the medical care Alina could finally afford, sat in the front row, tears of joy streaming down her weathered face. "I didn't change Mr. Wellington's life," Alina said when it was her turn to speak. "He changed mine by seeing value where others saw only a servant." But if our story teaches anything, it's this: every person you meet has a hidden skill, a secret dream, an untold story. Your job is to look beyond the surface, to see the light in others even when they've forgotten it themselves. And when you find that light, fan it into flames. Because that's what kindness does. It doesn't just change one life. It creates a ripple that changes the world. The audience erupted in applause, but Marcus was looking at the young students in the crowd, kids from backgrounds like Alina's, their eyes shining with hope. He saw himself in them, but more importantly, he saw Elena's spirit reflected in their determination. That night, as Marcus drove back to his penthouse in his expensive car, he passed the Sterling Grand. Through the window, he could see well-dressed people eating expensive meals, servers moving efficiently between tables. It all looked the same as it always had. But Marcus wasn't the same. He'd learned that the most valuable things in life can't be bought. They're discovered in unexpected moments, in the kindness of strangers, in the hidden talents of people society overlooks. He'd learned that shocking transformations don't require grand gestures. Sometimes they start with something as simple as a rose carved from a carrot by someone who cared enough to try. He'd been shocked by Elena's skill, but what truly transformed him was her heart. And that made all the difference.